believes we need to have all the facts before we move forward.
Yes, the delays are behind us, and we're extremely excited to begin our first school year with a group of new students here at Freedmont. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go prepare for my assembly meeting. Miss Stanford will be glad to show anyone around the campus who'd like a tour. And thank you.
Were you aware that this school was made possible through a cooperative of businesses and organizations?
Name, please. Natalie Wilder. Peter Collins.
Allison Weaver. Beth Tolliver.
Ryan Kelly.
Heather Hill.
Sarah McKinney.
Corey Clemson.
Nathan Kidwell.
Wayne Collins.
Charlie Brinson. Trevor Green.
Jasmine Strickland.
Joel Lincoln.
Is anyone seeing?
Oh, the complete bewilderment I have that you're not sitting over there with those people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Okay, I'll just.
I'm sorry, Natalie isn't really used to social interactions, especially when she's meeting new people. Of course you can sit here. My name's Trevor, by the way.
Well, okay, if you're sure, I guess I'll sit here.
Of course you can. Right, Natalie?
Yeah, sure. Sit.
Well, I talked to her and she said there was nothing I could do. But I had her call my dad and in 24 hours I was here.
I guess that only works in very special circumstances and for a guy like you.
Or if your dad just cashed in by selling the website for millions of dollars and made a substantial donation to the school.
I'm sure that's a part of it, but I don't think that's all of it.
Oh wow, what site?
Well, let's just say if you put a picture on the internet, you're probably using the site.
Everyone, sorry for the delay. Mr. Crane will be out in just a moment. So if we can all settle in, we'll begin momentarily.
Come on, let's get this show on the road.
Excuse me for a moment. I drank way too much sodas.
Good morning. I'm sorry for the delay, but I won't bore you with the details. I know you're all anxious to begin, so let's just jump right in and make up for lost time. First, I would like to say that I could not be more excited than to be starting this school year as the first headmaster at Freedmont. And I can assure everyone, from the exceptional faculty and staff that we have assembled here, to the outstanding student body that I see before me, that I will do everything in my power to make sure that Freedmont reaches its goals, and that goal is to provide you folks with the first quality education that you were promised. As you know, we went through a very arduous process in screening the applicants for this school. And I can tell you folks, the people sitting in front of me now, you are the very cream of the crop. Well, what's this? Apparently someone in the back of the room may have made a little stop at the Casa del Mayo on the way over here. Yes, can you go check out what's going on? Okay, everyone, just try to breathe through it. I'm sure this will pass. We're checking on some plumbing issues, and I'm sure that soon well, Miss Stanford has just advised me that we have a bit of a situation outside. No one is in any danger at all. I'm just going to ask everyone to orderly exit through the rear of the building and have a breath of fresh air, and we'll assemble later. Thank you, and we'll see you in a few minutes. The school's not been open more than 4 hours, and already we've had to evacuate everyone. Ooh, this is going to look good in the press.
Of course not, sir. Mr. Hawkins and I were able to contain the situation. He noticed the source of the smell and found the flames.
Flames?
It looks like someone had set off a stink bomb on a table and it ignited the tablecloth.
Good Lord.
Mr. Hawkins was able to get a fire extinguisher and before any real damage was done.
Any damage was done? There was damage done. The place smells like a sewer, and who knows how long it's going to take to get this smoke out of here. And I can just wait to hear what the town and the administration are going to think of this when they find out.
I share your concern, sir. But if we can just quickly find the person responsible.
Oh, we'll find the person responsible, all right. And when we do, they will be dealt with harshly.
What was that all about?
I have no idea, but it was the worst thing I've ever smelled.
I bet it was that Joel kid. I heard he's been kicked out of pretty much every school he's gone to.
Joel? The kind of good-looking guy?
You've got to be more specific than that.
The guy that looks like he got kicked out of a boy band for getting a DUI.
I bet he's nothing but trouble.
I'd like to get into some trouble with him.
You are so bad.
Seriously, he was in the waiting room with me, and he had one of those ankle monitor things on.
Like the ones celebrities wear when they're under house arrest.
I'll get something up as soon as I get back to the office. I know. Maybe the smell will be gone by the time I get there. Oh yeah, he was ticked. I'd hate to be that kid when he gets a hold of it.
I pulled all the files of the students that were flagged as potential discipline problems. Joe Lincoln was at the top of the list,
Joe
of
Lincoln.
course. About a dozen or so more were in here too.
When I find out who did this on this tape, you can just add you another one to it.
So what are you thinking for discipline for these students? Suspension or some sort of community service?
I'm thinking expulsion is what I'm thinking.
Expulsion? It's the first day of school.
Exactly. Look, I was given this job with the directive that I do whatever it takes to make sure that the students and the faculty at this institution are the epitome of exemplary education.
But expulsion on the first day of school, the administration.
We'll be glad that I handled it quickly and that I let these students know definitely what is and what is not acceptable. Young man, you need to come with me.
I was about to set something on fire myself to get out of there.
Really? Now I'm shocked that you wouldn't fall in for all the pomp and circumstance that goes with the opening of the school.
It's a school, Trevor. Why is everyone treating this place like it's something special? It's just a school.
Our last school was just a school. Look around at this place, Natalie. This is like the Taj Mahal compared to the crap hole we came from.
Exactly. Even for a private school, this place is too nice. My last private school was like the one from that Carpe Diem movie. Everything seemed like it was stuck in the 1950s.
Maybe you just went to a crappy private school. Did you think about that, Peter?
Lexington Academy is one of the most prestigious private schools in the South. But yeah, it was pretty awful. That's why I was glad to get out of there.
Well, if you're so glad to get out, why are you already knocking Freedmont?
I'm not knocking it, just making an observation. Doesn't this place seem a little odd to you?
No, not really.
The only thing that seems odd is you.
Maybe it's nothing then.
Dude, I am so sorry I did not mean for that to happen. Yeah, sorry.
You think you're a real badass, huh? Look, girls, he's totally got that tortured soul, antisocial thing down pat.
Definitely.
Works for you, though. I kind of like it.
Gentlemen, that's the kind of girl I'm looking for.
Which one?
I'm pretty sure he's referring to the blonde. I don't really think Ryan's the drama queen type.
I'm not, but I can't help but find drama.
I wonder why.
Just because of that one situation.
That one situation got you kicked out of school because the girl went crazy and put herself in the emergency room.
I voluntarily left.
After you got your butt kicked out,
How was I supposed to know she was going to have such an intense reaction to breaking up with her?
well, let's see. You broke up with her on a video that you posted for everyone to see and were hooking up with her best friend 2 days later. You posted that video too.
It was her idea.
How do you know all of this?
This guy made a video journal. Don't you remember me telling you about it?
I have a lot of thoughts, and Ryan's kind of old-fashioned.
I don't know whether to give you props or be disgusted.
Well, I get that a lot, actually, but I'm trying to get myself on the straight and narrow, get like where I'm supposed to be in life.
Really? Wow, that's kind of noble.
Well, my dad told me that I should get on top of that, and it sounded like a really good idea at the time.
Young man, you need to come with me. Right now.
Why? What's this about?
You know what it's about. In my office. Now. It's interesting reading, isn't it, Miss Stanford?
You could say that. Obviously, you've had a lot of problems.
Yeah, everyone does.
Suspended over a dozen times. Expelled from 2 schools.
It's my life. Build a narrative for me.
And despite that, you managed to have the highest GPA in both schools. Scored a 35 on the ACT as a freshman. And came so highly recommended by the interview committee, I thought they were pulling a joke on me.
What can I say? I do well in high-pressure situations.
Obviously, most kids would be squirming in their seats coming to the headmaster's office on the first day of school.
Which brings us to why we're here. How was your super soda this morning?
Fine. Why?
Did you finish it?
Most of it.
Not all of it.
I don't like it when the ice melts and waters down the soda.
And what did you do with your cup?
What?
When you finished it, what did you do with your cup?
I threw it away. Why?
Well, a super soda cup was used in a little distraction this morning.
Oh, I see. I had a super soda this morning, so obviously I stopped the steam bomb. Fine, sure. I'm back at, so obviously I did it. This is such BS. No stupid thing I get a fair shake here.
Joel,
We know you didn't do it.
we saw who did it on the videotape.
Then why am I here?
Well, as you said, you're the prime suspect. Besides, I wanted to talk with you. I'm going to be keeping a special eye on you while you're here. And I want you to know, you give me one opportunity, one reason, Mr. Lincoln.
Whatever.
Was that really necessary?
Yes, it was. Our biggest potential problem now knows where he stands. And that's going to serve to keep a lot of those other students in line. What I'm going to do next is going to take care of the rest of them.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mr. Harper, and I'll be guiding you through the magical world of English this year. The good, the bad, the ugly, and grammar. And these are the few things that we're looking for this year. Now, we're not ready for the question and answer session just yet, but I do want to promise you that your query is important and we'll get to it as soon as fast. What I'd like to do is start with a getting to know you activity. Oh, I know. It's a sort of a cheesy move, but all I'm going to ask you to do is to write your name on this index card. And then I want you to write 3 things you like, 3 things you don't like, and on the back, I'd like for you to write 3 goals you'd like to accomplish before the holiday break.
Can I borrow a pencil?
Really? The first day at school at a top-notch institution like this, nonetheless, and you will get your best.
Without science, we wouldn't have modern society. While I'm aware that there may be some of you who think that science is all about the periodic table or dissecting animals, I can assure you there is much more to it.
But will we get to dissect animals in here?
Yes, eventually, during the biology section of the course.
Awesome. What will we get to dissect?
Really?
What?
The typical reaction to science classes. I like science because we get to cut stuff up.
I'm not dumb. I just enjoy learning about how the biology of animals work.
Yes, it is fascinating.
And what triggered this interest in animals? Does it help you when you're hunting defenseless animals?
Actually, I don't hunt. My father's actually a veterinarian, and one day I hope to take over the family business.
All right, so who would say that math is their favorite subject? Okay, I can't say I'm surprised. So let's start with why you don't like math. Yeah, Allison Weaver, right?
Allie, actually.
Oh, okay, Allie. It's Joel.
Sorry, I was in Mr. Crane's office. Kind of got lost on the way here.
Okay, well, don't make a habit of being late to my class, Mr.
Lincoln, Joel Lincoln.
Allison was telling us why she struggled with math.
I wouldn't say I struggle with it, I just don't like it. There's all these random numbers and signs that just don't seem to go together at all. It just doesn't seem to make sense sometimes.
It makes perfect sense.
Would you elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, you're right. Math is like a bunch of random numbers thrown together. But that's what makes math simple. With the right formula, all you gotta do is plug in the right numbers and you always get the right answer.
That may be true, but you have to actually know the formulas first.
I do.
So what is it they say about history?
That we are doomed to repeat it.
That is very true, but I was thinking a little more literal. Anyone else?
It's boring.
True. History can be boring. Federer said...
The tennis player?
No, I'm afraid he's probably a little too busy winning tournaments to concern himself with the role of history in education.
Even tennis players need a hobby. Maybe his is history.
Back to my point. William J. Federer said history is boring until it comes into focus. Unless you see it from the right perspective. Surely that can't be somebody calling to complain about my teaching, because I haven't taught you anything yet. Mr. Franklin's room. Yes, absolutely. No problem. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I want you to think about who is the most important American in history. Everyone except Ryan Kelly. Miss Stanford has requested the pleasure of your company in the front office. You better move, son. You never want to keep a woman in a position of authority waiting. So, who is our most important American in history?
He's on his way.
Good.
Are you sure this is the best way to handle this situation?
It's the only way to handle it.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. It's a bold move.
If we let an incident like this go by and we don't correct it, we'll never get control of this school.
Control?
Disciplinary control. If the students here don't fear the repercussions for their actions, the whole place will run amok.
Rule with an iron fist.
Exactly.
You know the administration isn't going to support you on this.
I know that. I've already just talked with them.
How bad was it?
About as well as you'd be expected, I guess, knowing that his father was a large donor to this school.
You had to know they wouldn't support you.
They told me to do what I had to do.
You want to see me, Miss Stanford?
Actually, we both wanted to see you. Come in. Well, we know that you did it. We saw the security footage.
Why did you do it?
I thought it would be funny.
You thought nearly setting the school on fire would be funny?
Do you know how many stink bombs I've set off in my life without them actually catching a fire?
You're lucky Mr. Hawkins was close by, or who knows how bad this could have been.
Look, I'm sorry.
You wanted to get caught, didn't you? Look, you had to know there were security cameras out there, right? And you said yourself you're very familiar with the process.
It was an accident. Like I said.
I don't think it was an accident. No, I think you knew exactly what you were doing. Look, Mr. Kelly, I have read your files and you're very bright. You're a handsome young man who has a little charming manner. But every time you've gotten yourself in trouble, your father's bailed you out, hasn't he?
Listen.
No, you listen. You ruined the opening of this school. You made the auditorium unusable. And you think you're just going to waltz out of here right now with a slap on the wrist, don't you?
Just talk to my dad. I'm sure you and him can work something out for this situation.
That won't be necessary. He already knows about this because I just talked with your father. And he knows that you're no longer a student at Freedmont.
What?
You heard me, young man. I am not going to let you skate by and go through your whole life thinking you can just get away with anything. I want you off these premises immediately.
You can't do this.
I can. And I'm doing it. Miss Stanford.
Yes, sir.
Will you find Mr. Hawkins and escort Mr. Kelly to get his belongings at the dorm? It's done. I'm sorry it had to be done, but we didn't have a choice. And I hope it didn't put you in a bad spot with his father.
Understandably, he was not happy, but we convinced him not to press the matter.
Well, hopefully one day he'll understand that he's not doing his son a favor throwing money at all these problems and trying to solve them like that. Maybe someday he'll even thank me.
Oh, I doubt you'll be receiving Christmas cards from them anytime soon.
I guess not, I guess not. Thank you anyway for your help in this matter.
Well, that's part of why you're there, to deal with problems. But trust me, we always have ways of dealing with any problems that may arise at Freedmont.
All right, today we're going to take a pretest. I know, but pretests are very important, especially for a situation like this, so that I can see what materials are needed and what level you're at. Okay, now don't stress too much because this is just a pretest. There are 50 questions and they're all over the place as far as difficulty, so you may get frustrated, but that's okay. It's designed to show your skill level and where you're at.
For one to truly appreciate music and culture, one sometimes has to participate in music and culture.
Does that mean you want us to sing?
One to participate in music and culture doesn't necessarily mean singing. Painting, sculpting, dancing, and playing an instrument are all acceptable ways.
What about playing Runes of the Dragon?
I don't believe I'm familiar with that.
It's Runes of the Dragon, and it's the biggest online MMORPG.
So you mean a video game?
Yes, Mrs. Nelson, a computer game for nerds.
Oh, so a game like Warfare Shootout isn't for nerds.
Of course not, that game takes skill.
Are you implying that Runes of the Dragon doesn't take skill?
Really, boys, we're going to argue over which video game requires the most skill.
Exactly that. I mean, whatever game you boys are playing, you're sitting in your room, playing with controllers, when you could be out with your friends, or even a girl.
I didn't expect such an intense debate about the place of video games in our societal norm and culture.
So, that does mean playing video games is participating in cultural appreciation.
Shakespeare is more than just a dead white guy that wrote about love. No, Shakespeare was a commentator of his own time. He was constantly pointing out the hypocrisies of society and tweaking the traditional stories of old. Now, Allie, what is your favorite Shakespeare play?
I guess it would be Romeo and Juliet.
A very appropriate response from the teenage girl.
It's a classic love story. Every girl wants a guy to love her as much as Romeo.
If you have a guy creeping on you while you're getting ready for bed, that's not love and romance. That's stalking and a restraining order.
But he wanted to see her and couldn't wait till the next moment to come. Yeah, it's a little creepy, but it's also romantic.
Oh, so you mean the same guy that spends the majority of Act 1 pining over a girl named Rosalind?
But then he meets Juliet.
Yeah, a girl that lets him make out with her as soon as they meet. What boy wouldn't like that?
Ah, well, now therein lies the key concept. Shakespeare is simply pointing out the fruitless nature of teenage love. Things haven't changed much since those days, have they? Joel, what is your favorite Shakespeare play?
Othello.
Wasn't what I was expecting, but it is one of Shakespeare's most interesting plays.
Yeah. The idea of Iago can be so manipulative and the audience knows what he's doing to everybody, but they're waiting for him to get caught.
But even when he does get caught, he doesn't get the punishment the audience thinks he deserves. Sorry for the interruption. I'm just out checking on the classes there, Mr. Harper.
By all means, of course, and you do make a very good point. Iago should die for his crimes given the time, the stories of the times, and he's also considered the spoiler alert, which is the only one that survives.
The Moor is a free and open nature, who believes men honest, who but seem to be, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are.
From one of Iago's key soliloquies, in which he discusses how he plans to use the inherent truth and the nature of men to be able to control Othello and the other characters.
Well, yes, but I think Iago got a bad rap, because in his mind, he was fully justified for everything he did, even though that didn't necessarily agree with everyone around him.
But even though his plan succeeded, he was still looked at as the villain.
Oh, yes, Mr. Lincoln. But everyone loves a good villain.
Pop quiz before we head out.
Pop quiz already?
I did tell you to begin memorizing the periodic table, correct?
I thought that was more of a suggestion.
I knew this was coming. Did I not tell you this was coming?
the periodic table. What's so tough about that?
Really?
Class, time is running short, so let's settle down so we can get started.
I have so much homework tonight. Stupid cheerleading tryouts are this evening.
Why do you do it if it's so stupid?
Really? Cheerleading looks great as an extracurricular activity. Plus, I look really cute in those outfits.
Yes, you do.
Hey Beth, I heard you're going to the tryouts too. Good luck.
Oh, you too. Break a leg out there. Girl gets on my nerves.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Crane. That guy is such... Well, he comes off kind of skeevy.
You think? The dude kicks out the son of a multi-millionaire, and all you can come up with is he's skeevy?
He's a hard ass.
I don't know, he came down on Ryan pretty hard. I can kind of respect that.
Some friend you are.
It has nothing to do with being a friend or not. Ryan got in trouble and Crane treated him like anybody else. I'm just saying, you have to kind of respect that.
Okay, we'll remember the respect line for when he drops the hammer on you for something.
I still say the dude's a hard ass. I'm just trying to stay off his radar.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. This Joel kid is all over his radar.
He's not the only one who has him on their radar.
Mr. Franklin, Miss Newton, what can I do for you?
I've come to talk to you about this assignment.
And I came for the same reason.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
Well, that's what we were talking about. They're too good.
Are you saying they cheated?
Possibly.
I don't think so.
Our students turn in good work, and you think that's a problem?
It's too good.
Too good.
I've been teaching for a long time, and I have never seen essays this well written. These are not the types of essays that normal high school students write.
Well, our students aren't normal, Mr. Franklin. We have some of the brightest students in this area.
I've taught bright students before, but we're not talking about a dozen or so bright students. It's nearly every one of them.
I gave the students a pop quiz over the periodic table that I told them to study for 2 days ago. And over half of the students identified more than 75% of the elements correctly.
Maybe they studied?
I've never seen this many students do so well on this quiz. I give this same quiz at the same time as long as I've been teaching.
I can come back if I'm interrupting.
No, this can wait. What is it?
These are the math pre-tests I gave.
And did they do well?
Very. Some of them. Amazingly, more of them. They answered questions that I've struggled with.
What's going on, Mr. Crane? Something doesn't make sense, and you know it.
Well, as I said, we have some exceptional students.
These aren't some. These are the vast majority.
All right. There is something different about this group, and if you will step inside my office, I'll be glad to share that with you. Tell you a little more about it.
Something's wonky with this app.
What do you mean?
I mean, I keep getting some sort of weird reading. It's the app that Newton made us use for our experiment.
The one that's not due for another couple of weeks?
Yeah, but after that pop quiz, I'm not gonna take any more chances.
What? That is so stupid, man. Why would you use the axe hammer of frost on the snow goblin? It only makes them stronger. No, You listen to me, you stupid little noob. I am a master dark elf archer, and I will not be talked to by... Oh, real mature. Well, your mom is the one who taught her.
You think I have problems talking to people?
It's stupid little kids, Nat. They ruined the game.
What game?
Rooms of the Dragon.
Rooms of the Dragon? I have the mobile app.
The one that gives you bonus XP for every mobile raid?
You know it.
Dude, we gotta set up a guild.
As much as I would love to sit here for the Nerd Fest, I've got to study. If either of you decide to do something academic and worthwhile, I'll be in the library.
You were in the zone out there, man.
Thanks, I was just feeling it. Felt like everyone was in slow motion and the rim was the size of a pool. Ever have days like that?
Not too often.
Well, you do alright. I wish I had as good a shot as you. I've seen you block those jumpers and they seem to always fall.
They'll fall. They have to.
Have to?
Yeah, when I got my scholarship, the only thing they liked about me was my jump shot.
Don't you mean GPA?
I do alright in that too. I bet your GPA's pretty high too.
I do alright.
Hey, you look good out there.
Thanks.
So did you.
That's so sweet. Hey Beth, I was gonna see if you wanted to get together and go over the homework for Harper's class. Crap, we did have homework, didn't we? Well, yeah, I guess we need to get together then. Great, come by my room in about an hour. That girl.
What's wrong with her? She seems a little...
Annoying?
Not the word I would have chose. I don't know. She seems nice. I like her.
Exactly. Everyone likes her. That's part of the problem. No one's that perfect little Miss Proper.
I don't like her either. I don't understand that super friendly act.
Exactly. At least someone sees things clearly.
Well, if she gets on your nerves so much, why are you studying with her?
To keep up appearances. We're co-captains of the squad, so I have to at least pretend to play nice with her. Plus, she's pretty good at that Shakespeare stuff, and English is the only class I'm really worried about for my scholarship. What?
I didn't know cheerleaders got scholarships.
Cheerleaders are just as deserving as any other athlete.
Well, maybe, but I didn't get a scholarship because I'm a cheerleader. I got one because I'm involved in so many extracurriculars and clubs. The letter said something about being the kind of involved student that Freedmont desires, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I guess it takes all kinds.
It must, because Allie's here on the same scholarship as me. And they might not say it, but scholarships are pretty competitive.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
She's not my enemy. Yet.
Hey! Hey!
Can I help you?
Yeah, that depends.
Look, I don't have time for this. I already had to leave the dorm room because of the nerd convention taking place in the lobby.
Rooms of the Dragons are very public to me. I just need help with Newton's science homework.
I thought you were like a math genius or something. Are chemistry formulas your kryptonite?
No, formulas are easy. It's the periodic table that's more complicated.
Even if I wanted to possibly help you, I can't. This math work.
Calculus must be your kryptonite then.
It just takes me a while. I mean, when is anyone going to use this stuff anyway?
You'd be surprised.
I can do it. It just takes so long and I hate it. So I put it off and the next thing you know, I'm behind.
Well, how about I show you a quick way, a little shortcut, and you help me out with the periodic table.
Okay, sit down. My mom can't afford this school without my scholarship, so I have to stay on top of everything.
You're on a scholarship too?
Yeah, so are Trevor and Peter. You?
Yeah. They told my dad that I had scored so high in my math that I qualified for a scholarship.
They told my mom the same thing. And Trevor got his because he's so good with computers.
Weird.
Well, everyone looks like they're enjoying themselves. Afraid we're going to have to close it down here in about 10 minutes. Sorry. See you tomorrow, I guess.
See, I told you we'd make it here on time.
Really, what would they do to you if you weren't on time for curfew anyway?
I don't know. Maybe I just need a reason to find out.
Oh, there you are, Nat. Where'd you go?
Really? I told you I was going to the library.
That must have been when we started questing.
Oh, sorry, Nat. I know we were going to work on your math.
It's okay, man. I helped her out. Besides, someone's gonna go out there and slay those dragons. I'll be heading up now. Thanks again, man.
Are you still messing with that app?
Yeah, it's picking up some sort of weird frequency.
You probably just got ripped off.
Come on, Peter.
All right.
Some sort of scholarships. Be a problem? What?
That's a really pretty color on you.
Oh, thanks. Yours looks good too. Yeah, really good.
Really good, yeah.
Are you all ready for this Halloween carnival?
Yes, I love carnivals. You would. Excuse me?
You would, just because you seem like a carnival kind of girl.
Oh, thanks, I guess. My dad and I used to go to the fall festival in our town every year.
We had something like that at home too. It was kind of cheesy, but still fun.
At least it'll be something with the potential to be entertaining around here for a change. Did you guys just hear that? Yeah, what was it?
Sounded like feedback or something.
But I'm not getting a call. What would cause it to get feedback?
Just turn it off. Maybe it just needs to be reset or something.
Probably.
So I asked her if maybe she'd like to stop and get a cup of coffee or a bite to eat at that little sandwich shop before you come back into town.
The Cardinal.
Yeah.
You know, they have a great potato soup on Thursdays.
Well, I'll get around to that sometime. But what I wanted to ask her
You
was-
should. Because it goes really well with the roast beef sandwich on marble rye.
What?
You're just as bad as these kids are. A gentleman never kisses and tells.
Well, there's not much to talk about as far as kissing so far, but I got my hopes up. Guys, it's a duty-free lunch. We're off the clock.
Pay no attention to him. He's just cranky. What can we do for you two?
Natalie's found something we need to talk to you about.
What is it?
A signal.
A signal?
I think that's what it is. It's something on a frequency that's very odd.
And it's only at school you can hear it too.
I'm not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's not normal.
What makes you say that?
Well, I don't know what it is, but I think there's a short that's interfering with the transmission of the signal. I really don't know.
This isn't my area of expertise. Maybe you should talk to Mrs. Newton.
Or you could talk to Mr. Crane. If you're really concerned about this, that's who you need to go and talk to.
He's already made it very clear he doesn't like me. Plus, we don't even know if this is anything.
I'm not sure. Something's not right about this. But if no one's gonna help me figure it out, I'll do it myself.
So yeah, I think we're going to take in a movie after the carnival.
I can't believe how everybody's going all in for this Halloween carnival.
Why? It's my favorite holiday.
Well, I liked the free candy when I was a kid, but it seems kind of silly when you're a teenager. It becomes all about scary movies and stupid haunted houses.
Maybe, but it's the one time of year you can be someone completely different and no one can say anything. Reminds me of when my dad and I used to go trick-or-treating and divide all the candy when we got home.
You talk about your dad a lot.
Are we ready to go yet?
Really? You're gonna wear that to the school's Halloween carnival?
What are you talking about? Like my favorite movie said, Halloween is the one time of year when a girl can wear whatever they want and no one can say anything about it.
I'm pretty sure the guys are gonna have some things to say about it.
That's the point. So are we ready to go yet?
I'm almost ready. Just one more. Okay.
What?
You look amazing.
Really? Yeah. You look very nice.
I thought it'd be nice to be Juliet for a night.
Let's go find your Romeo.
Yeah, let's go, girls.
Hey, you guys see Natalie? No.
We asked her if she wanted to go to the carnival.
But she didn't want to. She would rather go up into her room and do her homework.
Homework? Teacher did give us any homework.
That's what we told her.
But she called us idiots and stormed up to her room.
She's been up there ever since?
Yep.
I better go then.
Come on, Peter. Let's go check out this carnival.
Awesome.
You know, it looks like things are going really well. I used to love dances when I was at school.
Technically, this isn't a dance.
What's the closest thing these children have had to a dance since they've been here? It's nice to see them cut loose.
You know, I agree. They deserve to have a good time.
I guess so. Especially since so many of them are exceptionally gifted.
What?
You weren't supposed to say anything.
It's not like I meant to. It just sort of slipped out.
What are you talking about?
Haven't you noticed that a lot of our students are very smart?
That's nothing to keep secret in a private school.
Exactly.
Yes, but Mr. Crane said.
Yes?
Oh, Mr. Crane, Miss Stanford.
Well, I can only imagine what your folks are talking about. Especially since I heard my name mentioned. Why, I just hope it isn't anything too bad.
They were just telling me what exceptional students we have here.
Yes. We do have some very exceptional young men and women here.
Excuse me, I need to get some air.
Hello, ladies.
Hey, Nathan.
What's up, Nate?
Nothing much. I just thought I'd wait here for you two.
Oh, you did, huh?
Is Beth with you?
She had to stop at her locker for something. I'll be right back.
What?
You really have it that bad, huh?
What are you talking about?
Nathan James Kidwell, I've known you long enough to know when you're interested in a girl.
That obvious?
Not really, only to everyone. Look, Nate, you're a sweet guy. I just don't want you to get ahead of yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, that's not really what I would consider your type.
What's that supposed to mean? She's too pretty for me.
That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just Beth's a bit...
Hey, Beth.
Hi.
You look really great.
Thanks. So, we're the cute guys.
I hope you don't mind, sir, but I brought my son Teddy.
Oh, not at all. Very nice to meet you, young man.
How old are you, young man?
Where's the candy?
Well, help yourself to anything on the table there.
He takes after his dad. Neither one of us can resist free candy.
I didn't know you had any children.
You'd probably be surprised about the things you might know about me. Man of mystery.
Man, miss. All right.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Let me run and get you some...
Paper towels?
Yes, paper towels.
That's a weird kid. Sweet, but weird.
Water?
Yeah, that's why I told him not to worry about it.
Yeah, I think Peter would worry over anything. It's Allie, right?
Yeah.
Funny, I thought it was Juliet. What light through yonder window breaks? 'Tis the east, and Juliet to the sun.
Hey, Joel.
Hey, you guys see Natalie?
Natalie? Why would I want to see that freak?
You see Natalie?
No, not since class has ended.
Really? That weirdo has guys chasing after her, and I can't even find a cute guy to dance with.
I know, and he looks so good in that costume.
Yeah, so good, Beth.
Let's go find some cute guys.
What are you doing out here? Shouldn't you be at the carnival?
Shouldn't you be cleaning somewhere?
Yeah, I probably should be, but I'm taking a break before I have to go clean up that mess from the carnival.
That makes sense, I guess.
What are you doing out here, all by yourself?
I thought I lost something.
In a locked building?
It's complicated.
I'm sure it is.
Have you noticed anything weird coming from out here?
What kind of weird?
Like noises, sounds?
I hear all kinds of noises out here at night.
Like frequency sounds, voices.
Frequencies, voices.
Yeah, you've heard them?
What if I have?
You know how you wanted to know if anything strange happened around here? Well, I think I've got something for you.
So have we finished the project for Newton yet?
We have started the project, yes. Nathan's just having some trouble tracking the sound waves.
What about that app I downloaded when I heard the loser tree? I was using it the other day.
I thought you downloaded it.
Well, I did, but I deleted it because my phone was being all weird. Remember the other day when it was making those weird noises? Well, ever since I deleted the app, no more weird noises.
This song is about the plight of the dog in many Asian countries. Here and all around the world, man's best friend. There they're seen as livestock.
Gross.
To us, maybe, because the significance they play in our culture as companions. But there, the significance is much different.
She is so weird.
Did you say something about an app?
Were we talking that loudly?
No, I think Joel was just eavesdropping on us. I can think of some more interesting subject matter to discuss.
The app's interesting enough. It's the same one that Natalie's group is using, right?
Yeah, so what?
Probably nothing.
Come on, what is it?
Well, your app's acting weird, and the one on Peter's phone's acting weird too.
You mean his phone went all psycho too?
It's probably nothing, like I said.
Remember, class, your assignment is to a free-form expression of something that outraged or freaked in our culture.
Something's going on with him and that group of freaks.
So, why do you care?
Because I don't know what it is. And that makes it interesting.
Remember that the lab assignment I gave you on sound waves and frequencies is due at the end of the week.
About that, Miss Newton.
Yes?
Well, see, I've been working hard with Peter and Natalie, and I think we found something.
Don't tell me. You found another way to be a nerd on Runes of the Dragon.
Settle down, class. Trevor, what is it that you found that you think is so odd?
It's probably nothing.
Trevor, just tell me what it is. It's time for lunch.
It's probably nothing, but we think we found something kind of weird.
Weird? You'll have to be a little more specific than that.
Well, I dropped my phone the other night while we were using the app for the experiment that we downloaded. And sometimes we hear these voices.
Voices?
Yeah, they're garbled, but we can almost make out what they're saying.
When you're using this app?
Yeah, it's like broken, but...
It's probably just some cheap app that the designer made to mess with the people who download it. Or a science teacher who enjoys tormenting her students.
I don't think this is...
I didn't eat breakfast this morning and I'm starving, so why don't we just head down to the cafeteria?
But Natalie looked at the diagnostics.
I'm sure she did. Why don't you and your group just focus on completing the assignment?
Excuse me, sir. Sir, excuse me.
Can I help you?
Maybe. I'm here for an interview with Mr. Crane.
Well, I'd say you're a little bit lost then.
Now, I wanted to come out here first. I understand some students may have been outside sneaking around at night.
Nobody's sneaking that I know of.
Are you sure about that?
I can't be too sure of anything, but I'm pretty sure that if somebody was sneaking around, those would pick it up.
What if it was somebody that wouldn't look out of the ordinary?
Huh?
What if it was someone like a student?
They're teenagers. I'm sure they sneak a lot of places.
With you?
Kids, you know, they sneak out, they smoke, they text, whatever. They want to blow off a little steam. I'm not a tattletale.
How would Mr. Crane like to hear that?
I don't know. Can't say that I really care. He's not the one that signs my checks. Now, if you'll excuse me.
How'd it go with Newton?
She wasn't very receptive.
That makes sense. She's too busy trying to look pretty and coaching her cheerleaders.
I think she was hungry.
This is something we've got to find out about.
We should just go to Crane.
And say what? We think something weird is going on around here. How many times do you think someone says that to him every day?
What about Miss Stanford?
I'm pretty sure we would have to draw pictures and diagrams to get her to understand what we're talking about.
I just heard something really odd from Beth.
If it was a sincere, nice thought, that would be odd.
She downloaded your app.
The Soundwave app?
I didn't even think she'd know what to do with an app.
I don't think she did either. I think she heard you guys talking about it or something and downloaded it.
So she downloaded it. What's so odd about that?
She had the same problem that Peter's phone did.
What did she do?
She deleted it.
That figures.
Can we help you?
For the only time, the answer to that question may be yes.
What do you mean?
You downloaded the Soundwave app?
So what?
You had signal interference because of the app, right?
I guess. My phone started making weird noises, so I deleted the app and that fixed it. I had the same problem too.
Too? Beth probably told...
I told the cheerleaders about it. Sarah and I both downloaded it.
And you both had the same problems?
What is this, the Inquisition?
No, but I think you're proving.
I guess that's why Joel was so concerned when we were talking about it this morning.
Maybe.
So let's slow down here. What exactly is the problem?
These kids and their crazy stories. Anyone else hear about this weird app that's causing the students to hear voices?
Well, actually, yeah. Colin and I were talking to a couple of students the other day about it.
You know, I overheard that Tolliver girl talking about some app that was making weird noises and ruining her phone.
That's odd. I haven't seen Beth Tolliver running around with a Natalie Wilder contingent.
You know, Natalie doesn't seem like the kind of girl to make something like this up.
She's very bright when it comes to science. Maybe one of the brightest students I've ever been around.
Well, you know what they say. Sometimes if 100 people are yelling fire, one of them's got to be right.
I have never heard that in my life.
You know, as bright as these kids are, I think we've forget that these are not normal high school students. I remember what Mr. Crane told us.
I don't think I was in on that conversation. Told us what?
Maybe we should listen to them.
Good. So maybe you'll listen to us now.
Why am I doing this?
The administration feels like we're not doing enough to promote Freedmont.
Promote. Well, we're not building a product here.
I agree, sir, but the administration wants you to do this interview and they placed it on your schedule.
I'm a little surprised that you've even asked for an interview. Things seem to be so quiet here at Freedmont this year.
Precisely. That's one of the things I'd like to speak to you about.
The administration said you wanted to interview him about the progress that the school has made over the past few weeks.
That's true. I do plan on asking about that.
I sense there's another reason that you're here then.
Maybe a tad bit. There may be a few more things I'd like to discuss with you that I left out of the interview request.
The administration is not going to be happy with you.
Probably not. I still think they're upset about the piece I ran on the Kelly boys' expulsion.
Well, I believe it's becoming painfully obvious that you're here for another reason.
Are you aware, Mr. Crane, that you have students sneaking around campus at night?
I don't doubt that there's been a few that have tried to...
This was not a try. This is a fact.
I assure you, any type conduct will be met with an appropriate punishment.
And on that note, I think I'm just going to have to ask you to leave.
Okay. So I guess that means you have no comment on some sound or frequency that several people on campus are investigating?
Do you know anything about this sound frequency?
No, sir.
Okay then, I guess you can't comment on something that you don't know anything about.
Find out what she is talking about.
You're sure this is correct? It couldn't be a problem with the app, or...
There couldn't be. Peter's phone, Beth and Allie's phone, and my phone all had issues.
But not the same issues, right?
No, that's what's odd.
True. Why would the same thing, in theory, affect similar devices differently?
The types of devices?
Or the locations?
Maybe both.
That would make sense.
If the devices are different, that would account for most of it. But it seems as if the interference in the signal is different based on location.
Peter's was in the dorm.
That's where I noticed mine too. Beth's was in the bathroom by the cafeteria, which is closer to the dorm than the bathrooms by Crane's office.
What do you think that means?
Maybe the source of whatever this is?
The storage building.
What are you talking about?
The night of the Halloween carnival, I tried to track the signal. It wasn't very successful, but I noticed it was stronger near the storage building.
So that's where you were when no one could find you.
She's a big girl, Joel. She can take care of herself.
What did you find?
Well, nothing. I didn't get a chance to check it out. The janitor found me and I had to go back.
Then we need to check it out then.
Check what out? Are you all talking about the signal or some nonsense that Mr. Crane was ambushed with information about this morning?
He knows?
He didn't. Then some reporters showed up this morning wanting to know why teachers and students were investigating some signal.
We felt it would be better to see what it was before we went and talked to him about it.
Well, he's very interested now and wants to know everything.
Getting
getting back into interpretive dance?
Sarah, why didn't you tell me you were coming by?
I didn't have time. I've been trying to get an interview with Crane for weeks, and I finally got the call from the administration this morning.
How'd that go?
As good as can be expected, especially since I blindsided him with information that he didn't already have.
Well, that usually gets you in trouble.
Yeah, but you don't seem to mind when it's getting you information about boys you're interested in.
Well, that skill does come in handy. Speaking of which, what about this latest one?
I did find out a little bit, but I think maybe it's best that, well, I just think you need to hear it from him.
That bad, huh?
Well, I'll let you make that decision.
Just tell me he's not married.
I can assure you he's not married. I'm sorry. I've got to take this, but listen, I'll see you for dinner this weekend.
Okay.
Well, is there anything else I need to know about this that you didn't tell me on the phone?
No, sir. They seem to think that whatever this is, the source may be here.
Well, this is just a storage building, right?
Yes, sir. We use it to store supplies, boxes. I keep a few things here for when I work late.
The signal strength seems to be the strongest in this area.
Well, let's open it up.
It doesn't make sense.
Really? Well, what doesn't make sense is how you've stirred up the teachers and half the student body with this nonsense.
It is not nonsense.
She's right. I've seen their information. There is something odd with this. We just don't know what it is.
What was that about?
He said that if there is something to this signal, we need to find out what it is, no matter what it takes.
What do we have to do to find out what it is?
Yeah. It wasn't good enough. He's told him to find the source of it, whatever it takes.
Crane, wow. Who would have thought he would have been on board for this whole thing?
Well, it makes sense. If something weird's going on, I'm sure he wants to be involved.
Of course he would. It's his neck on the line if something's going on around here.
It's kind of scary. Is someone using the school for something?
Yeah, like we're some kind of science experiments.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but I swear I'll figure it out before Natalie does. I'm tired of that freak being treated like she's something special.
Why do you have it out for her?
She's a freak, okay? Girls like her shouldn't be getting all the attention.
Girls like you should, right?
Like me, like you, like us. What is wrong with this place? It's like the kids that should be cool are getting ignored. And the nerds are the cool kids around here.
Why do you care, Beth?
Yeah, this school's supposed to be different. That's why I wanted to come here. You don't know what it's like to be treated like a freak.
Oh, whatever. You're the most perfect kid in the school and everyone loves you. What would you know about it?
Beth, I know deep down there's someone that can be sincerely nice, but right now you're acting like a total grade A witch.
Infrasonic. That's what it has to be.
But infrasonic waves generally get detected.
True, but maybe that's the point. Most people don't go around looking for infrasonic waves.
So it was probably assumed that no one would ever find it because they wouldn't be looking.
It's pretty clever.
We're pretty stupid. If a bunch of kids with a phone and an app could discover it, they had to be either really cocky or very inept.
Whatever it is, I think we've found something pretty unique here. And I think I'm getting closer to figuring out what it may be.
This is very problematic, Mr. Crane. We thought you would be able to do a better job controlling our students.
There's something going on with this frequency, and whatever it is, we need to find out what it is.
Why does this concern you so much? Are studies being affected? Is anyone not able to function because of a frequency that can probably be blamed on any number of things?
Students are concerned, the faculty is concerned, and therefore I'm concerned.
You may have a point. Your devotion to the school is admirable, and one of the main qualities we hired you for.
Thank you, sir.
I will send someone there to help you with this situation, and we will monitor the school very closely.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm sure the students and the faculty will appreciate it as well.
No, thank you, Mr. Crane, for pointing out just how concerned everyone is about this situation.
Ms. Smith presented this evidence to me, and I could, well, it was very hard.
Is she responsible or not?
It's a simple question. Did she do it or not?
Ms. Smith's evidence was convincing. After reviewing it with her, there was really...
Yes, come in.
Mr. Crane, correct?
Yes, how can I help you, Miss...
Smith. You may call me Mrs. Smith, and I'm here to help you.
I don't follow you.
They said you requested assistance?
Really? Well, it's just a few minutes that I got off the phone with them.
The administration works quickly, especially when there are issues to resolve.
Well, excellent. How can I assist you?
I need to know about this signal that the student and faculty are so interested in.
Yes? What about it?
Start at the beginning. Tell me everything and everyone that's involved.
Sure. I'm fine.
Can you believe she would talk to me like that? No, not at all. I thought we were friends. I thought she was like me. Like us. Obviously not. Obviously not.
Obviously not.
Surely someone else has to get why I'm so ticked off about this place.
You're upset because you should be. This is your school and people are too dumb to realize it. You're the most beautiful girl in the school and everyone's too busy paying attention to the wrong people.
I always knew there was a reason I liked you.
I admire Mr. Crane's desire to figure out whatever this thing is, but it's Saturday and Bobby has a soccer game in an hour.
Thanks for coming in to help us, Mr. Franklin.
Well, you're welcome, Peter, but I don't know how much I'm helping. I think we're about as lost as my wife gets without her GPS.
We're not lost, really. Just trying to find the path.
Yeah, we're going old school, like a map, and we're finding undiscovered territory. You should be into that kind of thing.
Well, I guess you're right, Peter. But my navigation is about to come to a close because I have a goalie to go watch. You seem to be very popular there, Trevor.
Oh? Not really. I'm just expecting to hear from someone.
Natalie?
Not really, no.
You're acting weirder than usual.
I'm out of here.
And with that, gentlemen, I think I will take my leave as well. Keep up the good fight. Find the path. Live long and prosper. May the force be with you.
Hello? Yes, sir. They did. That's excellent. Of course, right away. The administration called. They're sending someone to help us out. So I'm going to Mr. Crane's office to get more information.
Why don't you go on too, Natalie? It's getting late. I need to get home soon.
It feels like we're getting so close. Oh, just a little while longer.
It can wait, Natalie. We've been at this all day, and I have plans with someone tonight.
Plans? We're on the verge of figuring this thing out, and you're worried about a stupid date.
Natalie, everyone else may tiptoe around you and think of your antisocialness as a quirk of your personality, but I simply do not have the time nor the desire to put up with it. I am an adult, and I have adult things to do.
Have fun.
You don't get overtime, you know.
I know. Who are you?
Call me Mrs. Smith. The administration is very interested in your work.
They are?
Extremely. And the girl, too. She's very bright, you know. A little more diligent than we expected.
What can I do for you, Mrs. Smith?
Make a choice. Make a choice about what happens next. The girl was right. You're very close to the source of whatever it is that you're investigating.
I know.
Of course you do. And the administration, they want to talk to you about that.
I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I know I always enjoy getting together with my family, eating way too much, getting up the next morning for Black Friday shopping.
I'm with you on that, Mrs. Mayfield. If there's one thing Tollivers can't pass up, it's a good deal.
Yeah, Black Friday's like a national holiday in our house. Mine too. We eat dinner and then camp out at the stores.
Well, it looks like I have some fellow Black Friday warriors.
Imagine the time when everyone would get together and the only entertainment that they had was to sit around telling stories or to read to each other. Now, the form of storytelling has been around for a long time, even during the existence of man. But what I'd like you to think about is about turning off the football game after your turkey dinner and sitting around and reading, say, the Canterbury Tales.
What about Dr. Seuss books? That's more my family speed.
Well, I'm sure the good doctor would be honored.
What about you, Mr. Harper? What are you going to be reading around the old turkey carcass?
Well, hopefully I'll be having a nice, quiet, romantic dinner.
Ooh.
All right, cut it out. But I'd probably pick out the poetry works of Dickinson and Browning.
Hand turkeys are a staple in our society at this time of year.
Yeah, this is kind of awesome.
I haven't done these since I was in 4th or 5th grade.
Precisely. We sometimes forget that our youth influences our own tastes as we grow older, that we can still find enjoyment in those simple pleasures.
Well, I hope everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving break. It's a great time to spend with family and friends.
It's not always a good thing. I mean, you haven't met my family yet.
But as you're eating your turkey and enjoying your fellowship, or lack thereof, as in Joel's case, just remember what you're truly celebrating is the fact that the Native Americans showed us all their cool tricks, and then we kicked them to the curb.
Students, I know we're nearing the end of the day, but I have a very important announcement to make. As most of you know, the National Weather Service is predicting one of the worst snowfalls in several years. Because of the threat of impending bad weather, the administration has decided that students will remain at Freedmont until a time during the break it is safe to travel. This news will upset many of you, but the administration has to consider your well-being. We are currently making arrangements to provide a Thanksgiving meal at the school if it is necessary. Because of these unfortunate circumstances, we will be dismissing classes early to allow you to call home and contact your family.
This is so bogus.
Yeah, there isn't even any snow out there.
I'm sure the administration is doing what they feel is best for everyone's safety. Joel, I stopped you for a particular reason.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, in a couple of days, we're going out of town for Thanksgiving to visit with my in-laws. But tonight we're having our own early Thanksgiving meal. We always have too much food. Why don't you and some of the other guys that have been working on this signal thing come over to our house?
Are you sure that's okay?
I don't see why not. I don't know what Mr. Crane would have to say about that.
I'm not talking about him. I mean, are you sure you want to put some of us in the same room together?
It's Thanksgiving, Joel. I'm sure everybody can play nice. Why don't you just go spread the word for me?
All right.
Thanks again for having us over, Mr. Franklin.
Oh, my pleasure, Trevor. I'm just sorry you guys couldn't go home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all the snow is so unsafe for us to travel in.
Look on the bright side. If we weren't here, we wouldn't get to hang out like this.
Oh, joy!
Sorry, Mr. Franklin. For Natalie, there really isn't a bright side.
So, how long have you and Mr. Franklin been married?
Well, it'll be 10 years in February. Valentine's Day, actually.
That is so romantic.
Well, maybe. Romance didn't have a whole lot to do with it. We didn't have a whole lot of money in those days, and Kyle had just gotten his first job off at a school about 6 hours away. A really close friend of ours, she was the romantic one. She convinced the preacher to do a private ceremony for us during their reception.
That's kind of funny, but sweet too.
Well, whatever the circumstances, it's still really cool you were married on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I guess so. Plus, Kyle always says he'll never forget our anniversary, and he only has to buy one present.
Time to eat yet?
A few more minutes. Why don't you go watch TV or play a game or something? I'll go check and see what the ETA is.
Who's she?
That's Beth, another one of my students.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she really is.
Is that your girlfriend?
Huh? Me? Oh, no.
But you want her to.
Well, yes.
You should.
I wish it were that easy.
How's it going in here, ladies?
Just a few more minutes.
All right, I got a hungry child out there who's ready to eat the furniture if we don't eat soon.
Well, his father needs to go tell him it'll only be about 15 more minutes, and if he's that hungry, he can start on some of the junk in his room.
Do you mind if I step out for a couple of minutes? I've gotten really hot working.
Oh, sure thing, dear. That's no problem. I can handle it from here.
Are you sure? I used to help my mom and grandma in the kitchens with big family dinners. Plus, when you're the only girl out of 6 kids, you kind of automatically get put on kitchen duty.
Yeah, no problem. I can handle it. But if you would like to help Kyle finish setting the table, I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Right this way.
This is the first Thanksgiving I had in a long time and no one's yelled at each other.
Well, the night's early yet, and Beth still hasn't talked to anybody. She's just been sitting over there texting. Her fake little friends, I'm sure.
You really think she's all that bad?
I don't think, I know. Joel, girls like her are the reason that everyone thinks I'm weird for just being myself.
You may have a point, but it's Thanksgiving and she's over there all alone.
What about you, Trevor? What do you think of Little Miss Barbie?
Oh? Well, I guess I plead the fifth.
What? Where are you going?
You should talk to her. She's sitting over there all by herself.
You think I should?
Yeah.
I should, right? Yeah.
What's up?
Can't believe I let you talk me into coming here.
I was told I could be pretty persuasive.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Well, this definitely beats any makeshift turkey dinner we'll have at Freedmont.
Yeah, that's a definite plus too.
Who you been texting?
Being a bit nosy, are we?
Not nosy, just interested. Striking up a conversation.
My mom.
Your mom? That's who you've been texting?
Yeah. I was really looking forward to going home to see her. 'Cause... never mind.
You can tell me. I'm persuasive, remember?
It's just... her and my dad got divorced right before I came here, and she's been having a pretty tough time with it.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
I'm fine with it. I mean, there's only so many silent dinners and car rides you can sit through before you know that everything's not okay. But she wanted to make everything really special for me. And now I'm not coming home. And it seems like her whole life is falling apart, and I'm not there. Maybe I should just go home.
She wouldn't want that. She wants you to have this opportunity. It'd make her feel worse if you threw it all away just so you can go home because you think she couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. I really needed to hear that. Thanks.
Can you believe that?
What?
Joel, over there with that.
All right, it's almost time to eat, everybody. Let's get to the table and we'll bring the food out in a couple minutes.
I'm starving.
Where's Trevor?
I don't know. I guess he never came back.
I'll go find him. There you two are. It's time to eat.
Okay, we'll be right there.
Yeah, I'm ready to eat.
Me too. Hey, are you okay, Nat?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, come on, the food's up.
Good.
That looks like a really good turkey.
Well, like I said, we always have plenty of food.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Tonight has been amazing.
Yeah, this is better than I expected.
And you haven't even tasted the food yet. Hopefully you're saying all those nice things after dinner.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Now let's eat.
All right.
Are you sure of this?
Miss Newton confirms this?
If you talk with her, I believe she will, yes. Administration expects her full cooperation.
This just seems a little far-fetched to me.
Unlikely is the word that popped into my head.
Miss Stanford, are you doubting the thoroughness with which I have conducted this investigation? Remember, Mr. Crane is the one who called me.
I just find it hard to believe.
Well, I don't know what to expect with all this silly signal business, but I guess it was just a call for attention.
Whatever attention she receives, keep it quiet. We don't need any more bad publicity.
Fine.
I don't think you'll need me anymore. The administration thinks you can handle this situation.
Yes, of course. Come in.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Yes, please, come in, sit down.
Do you mind if I ask what this is about?
Well, we just spoke with Miss Smith a few minutes ago.
It was a very interesting conversation.
Can you verify everything she told us?
Everything? I'm not sure about that.
So you don't? She seemed pretty confident you would.
Yeah, she did. Very confident.
Well, I don't know if I can verify everything she said because I don't know exactly what she
Are
told
you all right, Miss Newton? You seem a little frazzled.
No, nothing's wrong, sir.
This is your free period, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Because you're going to be here a while.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
Cute? Yeah, I guess.
It's sweet, those two.
Really? Are you sure you didn't bump your head?
No, Corey. I thought about some things after you dug into me the other day. And Allie has a point. I mean, things are just different around here. And I'm gonna have to accept that that's not really a bad thing.
Wow, Beth, that's really mature of you. See, I told you there was a nice person in there. Doesn't it feel great to let it out?
Oh, you have no idea. So, what about Newton getting called to the office?
Yeah, what about it?
Think she's in trouble or something?
I don't know. Think it has something to do with that frequency stuff?
I don't know, but I gotta run. Can't be late for Mayfield's class.
Ms. Smith presented this evidence to me, and I could, well, it was very hard.
Is she responsible or not?
It's a simple question. Did she do it or not?
Ms. Smith's evidence was convincing. After reviewing it with her, there was really no doubt in my mind.
Where can we find it?
Her room. It's the only logical choice.
Why would she have it there?
Think about it, Miss Stanford. It's one of the only places we didn't check.
Your group seemed to be pretty confident it was in the storage building.
As bad as I hate to say it, she's the one responsible.
All right. Thank you for your time.
What now?
Well, we need to get her down here. We got to do something before people catch a wind of this. Call Miss Mayfield.
What was your choice, Miss Newton?
I didn't see you there.
I'm not here. What did you tell him?
What we discussed.
You did very well. The administration will be pleased.
And what we discussed for me?
In due time, Cassie. In due time.
Come on in and sit down.
Sure, what's going on?
Natalie, you had to realize that we would find out sooner or later
Find out what?
about the signal.
Miss Newton should be close to figuring out the source by now, but I can hardly get her to talk to me.
You knew she was close to figuring it out?
Yeah, I was there when she showed us the algorithm she discovered to track it.
You were.
Yeah, but then she had a date or something and left. It was like she didn't want to figure it out. But then I copied the algorithm.
Natalie, it is no use. Look, we know the truth.
Do you care to fill me in then?
We know that you've been using your cell phone for weeks to track the movements of the other students.
What? What are you talking about?
Look, Miss Newton and Miss Smith both believe that you just came upon this accidentally as part of your science project, and then you figured out that you could track everyone's movements.
This is crazy. I'm the one that first brought this to the teachers, to Miss Newton, to Beth, to Allie, to you.
Yes, young lady, you have been tracking the movements of everyone in this school for weeks. Now, all we want to know is, why?
Why? Why would I care where the majority of these people are?
That's what we can't figure out.
This is crazy. I'm the one that first brought it to Miss Newton, to the other teachers, to Beth, to Allie, to you.
Yes, To draw suspicion away from yourself, we assume.
You know what they say about people who assume?
Young lady, you will not take that tone in this office. Remember, you are skating on very thin ice.
Come in.
I found this in her room. It was where you told me to look.
You were in my room? I've never seen that before.
Well, we do have the right to search any student's room at any time.
That wasn't in my room.
Well, Mr. Hawkins disagrees, and so do I. You do realize that you're not just breaking school rules. You're breaking the law.
You can't believe this, can you?
I'm afraid you've left us no other choice. Miss Wilder, pending notification of your mother, you are expelled from Freedmont. And I will also be reporting this to the authorities.
I wish they'd just go ahead and send me home and get this over with.
But you haven't done anything.
Do you think I don't know that? I guess hanging out with that Barbie Jr. is just making you dumber.
That is so uncalled for.
You're just angry, right? She didn't mean it.
Of course she meant it. Haven't you learned anything by now? Natalie lacks a filter. She always says what's on her mind.
We'll figure it out. We'll find out what's wrong.
Don't you get it, Peter? This isn't a game. You may academically be as smart as anyone here, but maturity-wise, you're still a child. They want me gone, and I'll be gone as soon as they can get me on a plane and send me off.
Natalie, you've got to understand that not everyone's out to get you. I've got to get to class. Maybe you're the one who needs to mature.
I know I always called her a freak, but who knew she'd be a criminal?
I know, it's hard to believe.
She didn't do it. Anyone thinks she did is crazy.
You're crazy.
Super crazy.
You don't even know her.
You think she's innocent?
Well, I just can't figure out why she would possibly do it.
Well, it does seem kind of out of character. For someone who hates people so much, why would she care where they are?
What's going on, everybody? You should be studying for your exam.
Where'd they get this?
Somebody's gonna get murdered when Crane finds out.
This is gonna make him go ballistic.
What are you talking about? What's going on? Where is this? What site is this on?
The Oakdale Online site.
An unnamed source inside the school reports that inaccurate evidence was presented to implicate student Natalie Weiler in a plot to track and monitor student movements in the school. The source goes on to say that another teacher and an unidentified person discussed the plot as a way to keep other information from coming to light. Who spoke to this Andrews woman? I want them in this office now.
Sir, we have no way of knowing where to start to find this person.
I know. Hello?
Mr. Crane, it seems as though we have another problem with your school.
I don't recognize the number, so if this...
Have you been talking to the press, Cassie?
No, ma'am, not at all. What would I possibly have to gain from talking with her?
I'm not sure. I was wondering that myself. Maybe a change of conscience?
No, I made a choice. You said the administration would take care of me.
Oh, they will. One way or another. They take care of their friends and their enemies.
I didn't know what to think.
I'll tell you what I think. Mr. Crane is going to be pissed.
Do you think it's true?
It seems a bit far-fetched that someone would drum up a frame job on a student. I mean, the majority of these students are very smart, and you give them enough resources, they can build a shuttle to Mars.
But does it really seem that far-fetched, though?
What do you mean?
We know there's a signal of some sort.
That has disappeared since Natalie was busted. Cassie told us that already.
Could that be a part of the process? See, the signal was there, and now it's not. It would be easy to explain away with a kid being identified as the culprit.
Imagine a history teacher spouting conspiracy theories.
Why was the signal there in the first place? If it really was to track movement, what would Natalie want with that information, or even know what to do with it?
You know, that does seem odd. I mean, these kids are pretty locked in. There's not that many places to go.
It doesn't make sense. So maybe there is something to it.
Okay, maybe there is. But tell me, there's something I really need to know. Who's the second shooter?
I told you that in confidence.
I'm a reporter. What did you expect?
For you to be my friend and tell me how to handle this situation.
Which I did. I told you to go to Crane.
Yeah, but it's a little late for that now, Sarah.
Look, you created doubt the girl did it. Isn't that what you wanted?
Yes, but...
But nothing. Now you get to keep your name out of this.
They're going to ask for your source.
They already have. The administration of Freedmont has been calling here all morning. Unless they present a warrant, you're fine.
I've got to go, but you and I
know. Still have some things to discuss. I'm sorry, I am. But I also have to do my job.
You're obviously upset, Trevor. You've been out of it all day.
I just can't believe she talked to me like that. I mean, after everything we've been through, she rips my head off for trying to take her side.
I'm sure she's got a lot on her mind.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sure. I mean, even at her worst, I'm used to it being directed at other people, never at me.
Well, she's a person. Whether she wants to show it or not, she's just as emotional as all of us.
I'm not so sure. For a while there, I was convinced she was an android.
Maybe she is, but I doubt it. Just be patient. She'll remember who her friends are.
Sounds lovely, kids. Those kids on that show don't have anything on you guys.
Mr. Crane really doesn't want to make a statement of any kind at this time. Yes, he believes we need to have all the facts before we move forward.
Yes?
I see you opened your present, and while I don't ordinarily like it when people open gifts before Christmas, this is a necessity.
What am I supposed to do with this?
I think you know what to do. Be creative. You always are.
I didn't think there would be any violence.
No one did, but the circumstances change. You should know that better than anyone.
Framing the girl was one thing, but this is different.
The girl will get a new lease on life at Freedmont, but we'll keep a very close eye on her.
This won't go away.
It will, in time. You will give them a new problem to focus on while we fix the old one.
But what if you can't? What if Crane and his crew keep digging?
We already have the fix in place. That's what holiday break will be used for. We can't risk our activities being discovered again. Monitoring the school is the only way we can really control things. As far as Crane is concerned, he's just a puppet, except he doesn't know we're pulling the strings.
Then what?
Then we wait, Mr. Hawkins, and hope that another package doesn't get delivered to you. I believe you have work to do. You are exceptional at cleaning up messes.